Hello everyone, I Kuldeep Sharma welcome you all to today's session on 20 GK question, which have been specifically curated from the today's Hindu newspaper as well as the Indian Express. But before I begin with the 20 GK question, again a reminder, if you have not gone through today's daily news analysis, first go through that, because all of these questions have been discussed there and most of these questions are from there only. So let's look at the questions for today. So the first question is, which organization is the nodal agency for organ transplantation in India? So we have discussed this earlier also. The organization which is the main agency for organ transplantation in India is NOTO, or National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. So answer for first is going to be C. Next question is, the Enforcement Directorate or more famously known as ED in short, operates under which ministry in India? So many people believe that because Enforcement Directorate has a certain kind of policing power, it must be under the Ministry of Defense or Ministry of Home Affairs. However, in reality, it is a revenue enforcement agency. So because of this, it functions not under Ministry of Defense or your Home Affairs, but under the Ministry of Finance. So 2 is going to be D. So remember this, Enforcement Directorate functions under the Ministry of Finance. Next is, who is the current executive or head of the Enforcement Directorate in India? So I'm simply asking you, who is the head of this particular organization? So Rahul Naveen, who is an IPS officer, is the current executive or head of Enforcement Directorate. So answer for 3 is going to be A. Next is, which of the following military force guards the Indo-Bangladesh border? So we have different paramilitary forces, different armed forces, different units of armed forces manning the different borders of different countries. For example, which particular organization is guarding the Indo-Bangladesh border? So that force is BSF, or Border Security Force. So answer for 4th is going to be B. Moving on to the next question, India shares its longest border with which country? So India shares its border with many countries, including Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Bhutan, China, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and maritime boundary also with your Sri Lanka. But the longest land border India shares with which country is the answer is here, Bangladesh. So Bangladesh, in which recently was facing certain kind of civil turmoil. There were many protests, many riots happening in Bangladesh, and finally Sheikh Hasina has to resign. The country shares the longest border with India, and it is a very open border, kind of open border, because many people, many goods trade also happen through these Indo-Bangladesh border. So the country with which India shares its longest border is the country of Bangladesh. Moving on, which of the following state does not share a border with Bangladesh? So I told you that India shares the longest border with Bangladesh. So obviously many states of India have a border with Bangladesh. So 4 options are there. One of the state does not share a border with Bangladesh. So out of these 4 northeast state, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Manipur. Manipur is a state which does not share any border with Bangladesh. So in the comment box, if you can answer this question, which are the states which share a border with Bangladesh, you should know those. Next is, which is the joint military exercise of India and Bangladesh? So we have a joint military exercise also. We have a bilateral military exercise. So armed forces of both the countries participate in this annual bilateral military exercise, and that exercise is exercise Sampriti. Exercise Sampriti is that exercise. So in the comment box, if you can mention with which country we have this Yuddhabhyas exercise, with which country we have this Ajay Warrior exercise, and which country we have the nomadic elephant exercise. You can mention the answer in the comment box, and for us the answer is Sampriti here. Next is, the Agartala-Akhora link connects which 2 countries? So Agartala-Akhora rail link is a inter-country project where we are trying to transport goods and people from our mainland, from West Bengal towards the Agartala, which is part of Tripura, and this particular rail line is going to go from Bangladesh, from inside Bangladesh. So obviously this particular rail line is going to connect which 2 countries? So it would be India and Bangladesh. So goods can travel directly from West Bengal rather than using the Siliguri corridor bypassing Bangladesh. We are trying to construct a railway line from in between Bangladesh. Obviously Bangladesh is also going to benefit by this particular trade, and also the distance between India from the northeast of states of Tripura and other northeast states and the rest of India is also going to get decreased. Okay, so 8th का आंसर हो जाएगा C. Moving on to the next one, which committee is known for defining the poverty line in India based on expenditure on food, education and health? And simply question is ki the poverty line which India uses, by which we declare the below poverty line, or we identify the people who are in the below poverty line, that line has been defined, or which we use to define BPL was given by Tendulkar committee. The criteria was given by Tendulkar committee. So answer for 9th is going to be B. Next question is, which organization is primarily responsible for estimating the poverty line in India? So which organization is primarily responsible for estimating poverty line is your Planning Commission, and as of now Niti Aayog has not come up with any kind of poverty line, because we have now shifted to different kind of indices. For example, your multi-dimensional poverty index is basically used to identify the poor in India. However, earlier it was a Planning Commission. We used to create this committee, and it was a Planning Commission which used to decide on the poverty line. So answer for that is going to be D, Planning Commission or Niti Aayog. Next is, where is the headquarter of the International Criminal Court located? So this is again coming in use specifically with regard to your country of UK. Okay, so the headquarter of International Criminal Court is at the same place as the headquarter of ICJ, and it is in The Hague in the Netherlands. So 11th का आंसर हो जाएगा C. Next is, the International Criminal Court was established by which treaty? So there are 4 treaties, 1 convention, one statute, 1 treaty and 1 charter has been provided. And your International Criminal Court was created by the Rome Statute of 1998. So answer for 12th is going to be B. Next question, when did the ICC officially came into existence? So your ICC was created under Rome Statute of 1998, but it came into existence, or it started functioning from the year of 2002. So the answer for 13th is going to be C. And interestingly, your ICC jurisdiction only extends after 2002, so it cannot look into cases which happened before 2002. Next question, which of the following crime is under the jurisdiction of the ICC? So is it war crime, genocide or crimes against humanity, or all of the above? So answer for 14th is obviously going to be D, all of the above. Is there some other ground also? So if you know that ground also, you can mention it in the comment box. Next question, which of the following country is not a member of the International Criminal Court? So although International Criminal Court has jurisdiction over many countries in the world, but many of the larger countries, many of the superpowers, many of the important countries are not a signatory of the Rome Statute, and because of which they are not members of ICC, which means they are not subjected to jurisdiction of ICC. So one of the countries which has not signed the Rome Statute and is not a member of ICC is our very own country, India. Apart from US, USSR or Russia and your Israel. Israel has also not signed it. So these are some important countries which have not signed the ICC charter. Okay. So the answer for 15th is going to be C, obviously. Next is, which index is primarily used to measure inflation in India? So inflation basically means your महंगाई दर. So महंगाई को measure करने के लिए और inflation को measure करने के लिए which particular index or index is used to measure inflation in India? So the primary index which we use to calculate महंगाई or inflation in India is consumer price index. So answer for 16th is going to be A. Next question. Who among the following is responsible for controlling inflation in India? So obviously the government in itself, the whole of the government is responsible for controlling inflation in India. But one of this organization has a written duty, has a primary duty to control inflation in India. And that particular organization is Reserve Bank of India, which uses its monetary policy committee with the stated objective or with the sole objective of controlling inflation in India, or to maintain the balance between growth and inflation in India. So the answer for 17th is going to be C, Reserve Bank of India. Next, related question to this only, which of the following measure is used by the Reserve Bank of India to control inflation? So it's basically asking that if in India the inflation is rising up or it is getting at a very high level और महंगाई बढ़ रही है अगर इंडिया में, तो what would be the one of the action which the RBI is going to use to decrease the inflation in India? Is it decreasing interest rate? Is it increasing money supply? Is it increasing interest rate? Or is it D, reducing reserve requirement? So the correct answer is C, increasing interest rate. If I do A, B or D, if I decrease the interest rate, if I increase money supply or I reduce reserve requirements, in all of these cases money supply or money in the hands of the public is going to increase, which means their buying power would increase, which means they are going to spend more, they would be ready to spend more for the same amount of product also, or for the same quantity of product. However, if I increase the interest rate, which means the loans would be lower, the people who would be asking for loans would be lesser, which means there would be less investment, which means the prices would remain subdued or the prices would decrease, so that people are ready to buy more. So in this case, the correct answer, when the RBI wants to reduce the inflation, it usually increases the interest rate. So answer for 18 is going to be C. Next question, who has been named the new political leader of Hamas? So recently, Israel actually killed the political leader of Hamas, who was there in Iran to attend the oath ceremony or the induction ceremony of Iran's new president, and that particular person was Ismail Haniyeh. But now the Hamas today only has decided, yesterday only decided, that a new political leader of Hamas should be appointed, and then they appointed the leader of Hamas in Gaza as the new political leader of Hamas, and that person is Yahya Sinwar, which means the answer for 19th is going to be Yahya Sinwar. Finally, the last question for today. Hiroshima Day observes the tragic anniversary of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, Japan by the US during World War II in 1945. So, sorry, I should have framed this question correctly. The question was that on this day Hiroshima Day is observed, but what was the name of the atom bomb which was used to destroy Hiroshima on that day? Was it named Little Boy? Was it named Fat Man? Was it Big Boy or Small Boy? So I'm asking you specifically the atom bomb which was used to destroy Hiroshima that day, and that particular atom bomb was code named as Little Boy. So original name kuch aur tha, but the code name was Little Boy. So it was this particular nuclear bomb. This was the first atomic nuclear attack on any country, and that particular bomb which was used was Little Boy. It was code named as Little Boy. The bomb which was used, for destroying Nagasaki on 9th of August was Fat Man, was code named as Fat Man. Big Boy and Small Boy are no such kind of bombs are there. So answer for 20th is going to be A. Okay, so students, these are the 20 GK questions for today. So that's it from my side. Thank you and have a very nice day.